HipHopGamer Show. What it is, HipHopGamer Show.
HipHopGamer. Fatality to anyone who battles me. Murder, murder, every round there's a casualty. Every character shatter your anatomy. This a grown man's game, the pain, agony. Yo, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer. Hot 97, GameStop, BET, Gangster. You already know what it is, man. Check this out. As you can see, I'm trying to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all can see this. If y'all can't see this, like, I'm sorry, I'm working on this. This is something new I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But, y'all know me, man. I love to debate. You know what I'm saying? Because when you debate and have good debates, you can learn a lot, get a lot more information from an initial opinion that someone may have. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're talking about today. You know, someone's opinion on a topic. And the topic was PS2, because PS2 is the #1 selling console ever. A gentleman, I think his name is James, and he works at PS4daily.com. The only reason why I'm doing this is because it was the #1 post on N4G, and I know when you're the #1 post on there, there's a lot of influence behind that. Whether you get a lot of hate or whatever, there's a lot of tension behind that. And based off what he said, in my opinion, there's a lot of inaccuracies, and I'm here to break it down for you now, just to give you more information, and so you don't only just get this, but you get a little bit of that, and you can make up, you know, your mind with this information and see who opinion is more valid in your opinion as you watch this. Alright? So let's get it popping. First off, I'm gonna show you everything, alright? Just so you can understand how I get down when I do what I do, alright? First, okay, so HipHopGamer challenges PS4daily.com article, PS4 will never outsell PS2. First off, I don't believe that. Now, here's the first thing. There's 25.3 million consoles sold already, which is outpacing the PS2 in the same time period. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that's the reason why it's going to overall outsell it, but the fact that this has happened, and this is a fact, we gotta break down opinions and fact. So here's the first reason that James said when it came to PS4daily.com. This is the first reason why he thinks that the PS4 will never outsell the PS2's system, which stopped at 155 million sold, I believe. So check it out. He says, one has to keep in mind that during the reign of the PS2, the competition was much smaller. Nintendo's GameCube wasn't doing well, and neither was Microsoft's Xbox. On top of that, smartphone and tablet gaming was non-existent. The market belonged to the PS2 at the time. That's his first reason, right? Okay, now I'm gonna break something down to you. When the PS2 launched back in 2000, it was $299. It competed and beat the Dreamcast, and then it had to face competition from Nintendo 64 and Xbox that came out a year later. Now keep in mind, Xbox, that was the first time Xbox has ever come out. So nobody knew what this system was going to do or what it was going to be, or even if it was going to have longevity in the console business. That's the first thing. And when you look at this situation, look at the next situation. Okay, $399 PS4. Now PS4 came out a year after the Wii U, who got a head start on the next generation, and it was a week apart from the Xbox One. And the Xbox now is a much known, much bigger brand. I mean, Xbox beat PlayStation in America last generation. Even though it lost overall worldwide, it still beat it in America, which is major. So you got a system that's not the cheapest, because when PS4 came out and stuff like that, Wii U was cheaper than PS4, and Xbox during the launch, you know, Xbox was more expensive, but now, as we speak, Xbox is cheaper, $349, and PS4 is $399. So basically, what I wanted to show you was a comparison that is, when you look at this, it should be harder for PS4 to sell the numbers that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It should be harder for them. Whereas with the PS2 in their situation,
it should be easier for them to do what they did. But in terms of results, the PS4 outsold PS2 in the same time frame with a harder job to do it, whereas PS2 job was easier to achieve that. You see what I'm saying? So when James says that you know, the competition was much smaller, and he says that the GameCube wasn't doing well and all this other stuff, Nintendo Wii U ain't doing that well either, if you want to make those comparisons. And then if you want to talk about neither was the Xbox doing that well, it was the first time Xbox entered the market. Then you want to talk about smartphone and tablet gaming was non-existent. Okay, since it was non-existent, it exists now. And the fact that it exists now and Sony is doing what they're doing, it's harder for Sony to do what they're doing now. But they managed to outpace PS2 when it was easier for the PS2 back then. These are the facts. You see what I'm saying? Fact versus opinion. So that's the first point. The next reason, right? Now, here's their next reason. Another reason is this. He says another reason the PS2 was selling so well was that it was the cheapest and most reliable DVD player in the world. Today, there's little need for DVD or Blu-ray playback since Netflix and other streaming platforms are taking over. That was the second reason to why the PS4 will never outsell the PS2 overall sales. Here's what I'm telling you right now. First off, PS4 is not the cheapest. Actually, the Wii U was the cheapest during the launch. And now, Xbox One is cheaper than PS4, like I said before. PS4 has Netflix and everything that represents forward movement to support the selling point of having a PS4. You see what I'm saying? It supports the selling point. So, DVD and Blu-ray, no, that's not the situation now. But it's not like Sony don't got Netflix, which will hurt them. They got it, which helps the forward movement. Then, and also, PlayStation provides the ability to watch movies that are still in theaters and own movies before they hit the DVD Blu-ray market for sale. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. His reason was that it was the cheapest and most reliable DVD player in the world. That was one of his main reasons, right? Now, since DVD and Blu-ray isn't all as important, he goes to mention Netflix in the streaming. Well, in terms of PS4, not only do they got Netflix, not only do they got streaming, but like I said, you can get movies that are still in theaters, and you can also get movies before they even hit DVD or Blu-ray, meaning that you got earlier access to the things that you want when you get this platform, because the platform provides it for you through the PlayStation Store. So that's a major one-up right there. So for you to say that the PS2 was selling so well because of these things, and now that they're not there, that's the reason why it's not. The PS4 will never achieve that status of surpassing PS2. I just gave you factual reasons why PS4 can still outsell the PS2, because you got access to movies that are still in theaters. You can get movies before they hit DVD and Blu-ray, and the fact that you can just download it from your own house and just get it instantly instead of going to the store and everything, it makes it more comfortable and an easier, more smooth experience for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's another situation in terms of fact versus opinion. I just gave you facts that broke his opinion. The next reason, let's go. So the next thing that he says is, if the PS4 is ever to even rival the final sales numbers of the PS2, Sony has to be big on China. The Chinese gaming market is huge, and the country recently lifted the 15-year ban on game consoles. Here's the key word, 15-year ban. Meaning that PS4 is doing amazing without China, okay? And if PS4 can outpace PS2 in the same time frame, with a harder uphill battle in front of them without China, that speaks volumes. And also the fact that PS2 did the numbers that it did without the need of China shows you that even though China had that ban, console and the console business was able to be successful, significant, and suffice in the gaming world, with or without China. So with China, it just makes it gives you opportunity to do more, but you don't need it to do what you're doing now, and that's outpacing PS2. Now let's go to my points though. No, it doesn't. The fact that it's already outpacing PS2 is proof that the territories that's current are strong enough to achieve the goal of surpassing PS2 numbers. Now, I just wanted to put that statement into perspective. PlayStation 2 was incredible for what it did, but later on in this video, I'm gonna show you the true difference between PS2 and PS4, and why PS2 is the #1 selling console ever, and why PS4 will that tight. Let's go. He says the PS2 was the perfect console released at the perfect time to become a worldwide phenomenon. Console gaming was growing, games were much cheaper to develop than today, and competition was almost non-existent. Do you actually agree with that? Like seriously, do you actually agree with that particular statement? Do you agree, check this out, do you agree that PS2 was the perfect console released at the perfect time? Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Do you agree that games were much cheaper to develop than today and competition was almost non-existent? Do you agree with these things? Yes or no? If you agree with them, fine. If you don't, fine. I just want to know if you agree with them. Now let's break it down. First off, PS2 was not perfect. Xbox, the OG Xbox, exposed that because they had a hard drive built in, better graphics, better stability, and Xbox Live. Alright? So PS2 was not the perfect system. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, console gaming is still growing. It has always been growing. So when you say that console gaming was growing, and this is the reason why PS2 had the success that it did, console gaming never stopped growing. It has only grown. From Commodore 64 to now, gaming has always grew. That's why we at where we're at today. Okay, now, console gaming is still growing. Actually, games are even cheaper now than before. Here's the facts. Games are cheaper now than they were before because of the independent gamers using engines like Unity for free. Remember during NVIDIA's press conference, they was talking about how Unity, this major development engine, they giving it away for free. You can utilize, you can build games on free engines, and I'm talking about games that will be significant in our culture that millions of people will play and buy and download. You can make them for free, and what you're paying for is basically the labor of the people that's doing it, but you can use things for free. That's why you see so many independent games, so much new creativity. You want to know why? Because having free tools allow you to explore more. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy right now. So, console gaming is still growing. Actually, games are even cheaper now than before because of the independent gamers using engines like Unity for free. Competition was always there. It's just that PS2 had dominance because most of the third-party titles were exclusive, like Metal Gear, Devil May Cry, Grand Theft Auto, Final Fantasy, and more. See, this is the part, this is factual. Remember when Xbox 360 came out, you know what I'm saying? You know, like PS2 had a whole lot of games that was only on their system. And when PS3 came out and 360 was selling more and had that year head start, 360 was able to get a lot of games that PlayStation used to have only. Remember when Devil May Cry was announced as an exclusive for PlayStation? And then now it's on Xbox 360. You see what I'm saying? Remember when Metal Gear was only supposed to be on PlayStation? Then it came over. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Final Fantasy, Grand Theft, like these games was on PS2 only. And then later on, in the late in the generation, moving into the next generation with the PS3 and 360, that's when multi-platform games started to truly be multi-platform. So one of the reasons why PS2 was so dominant Because not only did they have Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, God of War, Gran Turismo, all these exclusives, they also had third parties as exclusives. They had everything. They had everything. They had the market on lock. Period. You see what I'm saying? So now, when you look at the situation, obviously it's not the case. And this is one of the reasons why PS2 was, doing so well and stuff like that in terms of having everything. Now that PS4, they don't have they don't have all the multi-platform game exclusives, but they doing deals to make you feel like this is the place you need to get it. So they found another way to try to do the same thing. But in reality, in terms of here, when you say PS2 was the perfect console, it was not. When you say competition was almost non-existent, that's not true. You see what I'm saying? It's amazing. So I just had to break this down. And I got more to say about this particular reason. Stay tuned. Now, to explore deeper into why PS4 has a strong case to outsell PS2, and most likely will, is this. Social media. During the PS2 era, social media wasn't there. It was not there. So you didn't have that extra influence that's getting people to talk about games more and buy games more and get that energy to boost the industry up overall. Social media plays a big role in that. Every company in gaming has some sort of social media presence. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. Live streaming. You know what I'm saying? Going on Twitch, doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? This stuff, you didn't have all of that during the PS2 and the Xbox, original Xbox days. Like, you know what I'm saying? People wasn't able to turn on their system, hit the share button, or turn on your Xbox and just go to Twitch and live stream right from your home. Like, you ain't had these things. You got them now. These are reasons and facts that are leading the generation so that PS4 can sell 10 million more than the Xbox One, and it came out a week apart. Those things are happening because of these tools that we have in our society today. Social media, live streaming, esports, YouTube influencers like myself, like other people out there, you know what I'm saying? There's tons of us. And more are the reason that gaming is growing and why PS4 is doing big numbers, because the awareness of the gaming community is bigger than ever. Everybody and their mama trying to get into gaming, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to BET getting into gaming. Shout out to Verizon jumping into gaming. And their competitors is getting into gaming because they know what's up. They know gaming is number one for entertainment, bigger than music and movies combined. You already know what it is when it comes to games, dog. We run all of this, man. So then, Kim Kardashian has her own game. That's how you know. That's how you know. Anybody that's invested in gaming, someone of her status, come on, dude. You already know what it is. People ain't stupid. Joe Girardi, Yankees manager, has his own app, Portal Ball. They understand what's going on. You ain't have none of this back in the PS2 or OG Xbox era. You see what I'm saying? So then, has a gaming app. More gaming websites are being created. So more influence and more news and more information is being put out there. You know what I'm saying? From real people. Word of mouth is on another level right now. Then you got big companies like Verizon investing in gaming. This is what the PS2 era didn't have, and why PS4 will outsell the PS2, and all this is happening without a PS4 price drop yet. This is all without a PS4 price drop. They still $399 at $25 million. Imagine what's going to happen if next year's E3 or before this year is out, holiday season, Sony says we're $299. If you could do, I'm gonna break it down right now. If you could sell 25 million, 25.3 million, right? Now you came out November 2013, right? So you've been out a year and probably like a year and 8 months. Year and 8 months, something like that, right? You've been out. You can do 25 mil in a year and 8 months, right? With competition from Xbox, You know what I'm saying? You got the Wii U on the market. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing is the Xbox and PS4 was a week apart, not a year apart, a week apart. So for you to outsell them by 10 million, and now they're cheaper than you, 25 mil at $399. What do you think is going to happen when PS4 drops their price to $299, and you got games like God of War that's coming, Uncharted that's coming? I go on. The reimagining of Ratchet & Clank is coming. Street Fighter 5 is coming. You see what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Imagine all those games, $299 bundle. You feel me? So I just wanted to enlighten y'all that PS4daily.com, yo, great opinions, you know what I'm saying? Good work. But this is fact versus opinion. And I wanted to share my opinions, but also bring you a taste of facts, so that y'all can understand and have more information on why PS4 will outsell the PS2 overall when it's all said and done. It's your boy HipHopGamer. You already know what it is. Please leave comments. Let me know what you guys think of this new, I would say new series, so to speak, facts versus opinions. That's what I call it, facts versus opinions. You know what I'm saying? This is my opportunity to call out a lot of people that got like a lot of thoughts about things, but I still feel that a lot of stuff is not always well thought out. And if y'all feel like y'all want to challenge what I just said, please feel free to challenge me. Let's talk. Let's get more information out there, because at the end of the day, it's all about growing. Alright? So one love, God bless. It's the one and only HipHopGamer. Make sure y'all follow me. You already know what to do. Alright? One.